Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, May 2nd. A strong cold frontal system slid through the I-95 corridor early this morning. A couple of showers associated with it in the past couple of hours. All of that is pushing out now. We'll have increasing amounts of sunshine for the rest of today in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. A little bit cooler than yesterday, and then it turns a little bit cooler on Wednesday compared to today. And then we have a heavy rain event coming. It looks like it'll be focused on the late Thursday night, Friday morning time period. At the same time, much cooler air will be plunging across the northern plains and the Great Lakes towards the northeast U.S. Following that heavy rain event late in the work week, it'll turn cooler this weekend, and once that chilly air mass arrives in the northeast U.S., it'll stick around for several days. It looks like we'll have an extended and unusually deep a colder than normal anomaly period here, probably from Saturday right through Thursday of next week, and we'll focus in on the reasons why that is setting up. It has to do with an upper air blocking pattern known as the Omega block that's setting up, and once you get underneath a particular system in an Omega blocking pattern, you're stuck for several days this time of the year. Let's take a look at last night's 0Z European model run. All these maps, by the way, from tropicaltidbits.com. We're looking at the 500 millibar height anomalies because that really dictates what's going on at the surface, and it really shows well this Omega block setting up. First of all, this is the forecast for this evening, Tuesday evening, in terms of height anomalies. We have lower heights compared to normal setting up here by tonight, indicative of cooler air moving in. And indeed, it'll be a cool night tonight following a pretty pleasant day today. Noticeably cooler tonight. Low temperatures down to the 40s in many suburban locations in the I-95 corridor. Now we're going to move ahead in 24-hour increments and see how this upper air pattern, again we're looking at 500 millibars, which is about halfway up in the atmosphere, how it evolves into an Omega blocking pattern. Here we go now by Wednesday evening, 24 hours later. This is the 48-hour forecast from last night's 0Z European model run. Notice a bowling ball setting up here, another deep upper level low setting up in the deep south by tomorrow night, and this will set off the development of surface low pressure down in the south central U.S. by late tomorrow. And here we go, 24 hours later. This is now Thursday evening. We have a very vigorous upper level low here over the Tennessee Valley. Thursday can be a day of heavy rain in the southeastern U.S., for example. Northern Alabama, we have some employees down in Huntsville, for example. Could even be some severe weather down there. Strong surface low pressure at this time over the Tennessee Valley, and that'll head up towards the Great Lakes region and produce a soaking rain event here in the I-95 corridor region between D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, late Thursday night and Friday morning. Let's now move ahead another 24 hours. Here we go by Friday night. Very vigorous upper level low in the eastern U.S. Notice also strong ridging out across the central plains, the northern plains here as part of this Omega block that sets up here. Let's go out another 24 hours, and here's your classic Omega type of pattern. It is dubbed the Omega blocking pattern because the upper air wind flow takes on a shape, at least the height pattern takes on the shape of the Greek letter Omega. Notice the big dip down here, and then a sharp rise up here, and then a big dip over here, again resembling the Greek letter Omega. Whenever you have this kind of a pattern, surface features move slowly. This is not at all unusual for the springtime, kind of a climatological favored time period for Omega blocking patterns. If you're stuck underneath an upper level low, you'll have pretty lousy weather for several days. If you're stuck under an upper level ridge, you'll have very nice weather for several days. And indeed, it looks like the northeast U.S. will be stuck under this upper level low for several days, bringing cool and unsettled weather to the northeast U.S., including the I-95 corridor region of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. This is the Saturday evening forecast map. If we just move forward from this point in 24-hour increments, notice how this just stays right over the northeast U.S. Now, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and finally Thursday night. It's still a deep upper level low situated over the eastern U.S. Chilly for this time of the year from Saturday right through at least Thursday of next week. And this kind of a pattern will indeed bring some snow to higher elevation areas of the northeastern U.S. For example, higher elevations in West Virginia, perhaps western Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, well below normal for this time of the year following that heavy rain late Thursday night and Friday. The colder air moves in this weekend. It sticks around from Saturday through at least Thursday of next week. Well, how chilly will it get? Let's take a look at the 850 temperature anomalies by last night's European model run, a 0Z European model run. The blues and purples here represent colder than normal conditions, and the red and oranges warmer than normal conditions. This is the 24-hour forecast for this evening, Tuesday evening, from last night's Monday night 0Z European model run. Again, cooler air moving in tonight. It'll be a relatively seasonal day today. High temperatures at or slightly above the 70-degree mark, for example, in the I-95 corridor region. Relatively normal for this time of the year, but noticeably cooler tonight. Again, there can be some low temperatures by tomorrow morning in the 40s in some of the suburban locations of the big cities in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. This particular colder air mass actually brings a little bit cooler air on Wednesday compared to today. And of course, today is cooler than yesterday. And here we go. This is now the Wednesday evening 850 millibar temperature anomaly forecast map from the European model. 850 millibars, by the way, is a couple thousand feet up in the atmosphere off of ground level. Let's keep moving forward. Notice how a very chilly air mass for this time of the year is diving into the southern states by Thursday evening. This is associated with that deep upper level trough we just noticed a moment ago at the 500 millibar level. This is the area to watch for the northeast U.S. as it expands, moves towards the northeast U.S. And here we go by Saturday evening. Below normal conditions now setting up in the mid-Atlantic region all the way down to the southeast U.S., even throughout the northern Gulf region into the Florida, for example, below normal. And now let's move forward again in 24-hour increments. Just watch how this basically just sits here in the northeastern U.S. And here we go by Sunday evening. And some of these, by the way, are very impressive. Like this purple area right here is 20 degrees Celsius below normal for this time of year. And this is Sunday evening, Monday evening, Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, Thursday evening. Just sits there in the mid-Atlantic region, the northeast U.S., a very deep and unusually extended stretch of colder than normal weather setting up for much of the northeast U.S., mid-Atlantic region from Saturday through at least Thursday of next week. All of that following a heavy rain event late Thursday night and Friday morning. Now let's take a look at the surface. This is now using last night's 06Z GFS model run, and we'll go through the heavy rain event late in the week. And here we go. This is the forecast map for right now, early Tuesday morning. Cold frontal showers now moving away from the I-95 corridor. Again, there should be increasing amounts of sunshine for the rest of today as somewhat cooler air moves in. But again, that air will be noticeably cooler by tonight after sunset. Here we go by Tuesday evening. A cool night coming up. Low temperatures in the 40s in some suburbs. Brisk, becoming breezy this afternoon. That breeze out of the west and northwest will stick around tonight into the early part of Wednesday. Here we are Wednesday afternoon now. Weak high pressure moving overhead. And notice down here in the deep south, low pressure associated with that very vigorous upper level system setting up over the south central states. And again, late Wednesday night, early Thursday can be a time of heavy rain and severe weather potential in the southeast U.S. Let's keep moving forward. This is very strong low pressure area by Thursday morning over the Tennessee Valley, headed up towards the Great Lakes region. Lots of heavy rain on its southeast flank here. And here we go now by Thursday evening. Rain starting to push in into the D.C. metro region. Again, strong low pressure slowly spinning towards the Great Lakes region. and overnight, Thursday night, this is the time period where I expect some heavy rainfall. Late Thursday night into Friday morning in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City could very well have an impact on the Friday morning commute. Again, heavy rainfall Friday morning, late Thursday night through Friday morning as this area of moisture moves northeast into the interior part of the northeast U.S. Let's keep moving forward. Friday afternoon, still some residual showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or so. Low pressure heads towards the eastern Great Lakes. Now if we just keep moving forward, start to see some blues show up here. And this is now Saturday afternoon. Again, using last night's 06E GFS model run. Cold enough for snow over parts of the Great Lakes, parts of the Ohio Valley, and higher elevation locations in the Mid-Atlantic region, such as West Virginia, Western Pennsylvania, for example. Here we go, northwestern PA, seeing some blues or light snow Saturday night. This system just sits and spins for several days because of that omega blocking pattern we talked about up front. Blues showing up here in West Virginia, northwestern Pennsylvania here. This is now Sunday morning, and this just sits and spins, and it stays. This is now Monday morning. Look at that snow, upstate Pennsylvania on Monday morning, and it looks like now we'll go all the way into Tuesday morning here. Still strong low-level flow out of the north, a continuation of the cooler than normal conditions. So it looks like that'll stick around well into next week, colder than normal conditions here in the northeastern U.S., including D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. So a lot going on over the next 7 to 10 days or so. It looks like a soaking or heavy rain event focused on late Thursday night into Friday morning in D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City. Earlier Thursday, heavy rain and potential severe weather in the southeastern U.S. Following that heavy rain event, colder air for this time of the year relative to normal. It's definitely colder than normal. Moves in this weekend, and it sticks around well into next week, perhaps at least through Thursday of next week. Much below normal for this time of the year. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Orion.